Hello, everyone.
Hi, y'all.
Welcome to this thing called
Life.
life. Yes, yes, yes. Today is going to be a very interesting day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you sure?
Yes, goodness. Yeah, yeah. Today is definitely going to be an interesting day for us as it relates to getting getting everything going and us talking about today. Yes, yes.
Hey,
As,
Michelle.
as are we, my dear. As are we. We are definitely live now. Getting ready to tag in a couple of people. And
Some of y'all do though. Some of y'all actually do. Y'all
yeah,
just ooh,
yeah.
it's gonna be good.
Yes. So what I am going to, I'm just going to say, we are live. Join us now. We are LIVE.
Mm-hmm.
Join the conversation.
It's gonna be good. Oh,
Yes, join the conversation because yeah, this is one of those where we are. Hey, Clarissa, how are you? Hey, Beatrice, how are you? It is good to see all of you. That is now my bestie from high school, Sylvester.
yeah.
This is Clarissa is the younger sister, so she
Okay.
is like my for real, like little
Little
sister.
sister.
Yes, goodness. Then we've got Miss Annette. No wonder y'all started at 6:30 because y'all was getting y'all face fit. See, look at you. You know how to make a girl feel good. Mhm. Yes, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you are well. Hello, Mother Elder. How are you? It's good to see you. You know I'm ready for your insight, your wisdom.
Yes.
Yes, goodness. Okay, we're just gonna jump
I
right
was
on
about to say, you
in.
want to just jump? You just want to leave? Like how you want to?
We might as well go in. How does
Yeah.
Gary always say, jump in
50,
head first?
5150.
5150. So what I'm going to do,
Hmm.
just for the sake of those who catch the recap, I don't care if you read it or I can read it, but for one of us to actually take the time to read the how. Yes, ma'am. She's saying good evening to everyone as
Good
well.
evening.
Um,
So I'm gonna jump in on this one.
okay, so you're gonna read it. So for the recap, for those that come in later.
Because I'm gonna tell y'all when I was reading. First of all, when I was reading this, I just want y'all to know I was in an online meeting when I was reading it. Oh wait. Okay. So my husband is mourning his dead mistress. 3 months ago, the woman who was having an affair with my husband died suddenly from an accident.
Mm.
I found out about the affair only 2 days after her funeral. I thought she was simply a co-worker, and I was wondering why my husband was so disturbed and emotional. He quit his job, saying it was too traumatic to go to work. She was in the early weeks of pregnancy when she died, and my husband doesn't know whether he or her husband was the father. So, on top of everything, he's also grieving for a baby which may or may not have been his. I find it extremely difficult to be emotionally supportive when he wakes up at 3 a.m. crying and trembling. Yet I don't have the heart to yell at him like I want to. He says she's dead, so there's no reason for me to feel jealous or threatened. and asked for my understanding as he grieves. Hello, Beverly Ann. His understanding as he grieves. We've barely talked these last weeks because I don't know how to respond to my husband when he cries and says how much he misses her and wishes she were here. Then also how much he loves me and that he never intended to leave me. I asked him to visit a marriage therapist together, and he said he's not ready to work on our marriage and thinks he needs to see a grief therapist instead. Do I need to give him time to mourn the loss of his mistress, or should I demand he focus on our marriage?
Okay, to answer the question from Mother Elder, she said, "Where did this subject come from?" Great one. It actually came from the post that she just read. I came across it online and was like, "We have got to unpack this." Yeah, because there's so many different. I mean, yeah. So
Whoop, sorry,
that's
y'all.
okay.
Sorry.
But yeah. So that's where it came from. Mother Joanne, it came from there.
Hey, Rod. She's like, oh.
So
Listen. Listen, y'all. Listen.
Now I want to read. I posted this to my page, and we got some very interesting responses that I actually want to hit, and then we're gonna just go through and just go and say head first 5150.
5150. Now, I will say that I purposefully
did not read the comments.
did not read any of the comments.
Okay.
So I haven't even read, like, what I read was from the post that you sent me. So I have not seen any additional commentary. I have not, I didn't read the commentary that was on this post other than what she sent me. Um, and so all of you who have commented, I've not read your comments. So
okay, let's start with it. Annette said just now for her to bring this situation to light and share her feelings. She obviously wanted to save her marriage. My suggestion is for her to get counseling and leave him. Oops. All right, all right, and that's coming from our resident psychologist, counselor. But the first comment that was on my post was from my twin, Demetra Pitts. She says, I'm curious to see the comments from the married women. From a psychological perspective, I can understand the issues they're both encountering. I can talk. At the end of the day, this is a situation where the wife needs to be exceptionally transparent with herself as it relates to the truth of her own mental health and physical wellness. Now, my brother.
Read the last part again. Read that last part
it
again.
says she needs to be exceptionally transparent with herself as it relates to the truth, her own mental health and physical wellness. Now, my brother TJ says, dude, just straight up unrealistic. I'm just saying. And I asked him to expound, and he said he's completely unrealistic to think that he's the victim here. Not doubting or downing the counseling needed because that is clear and evident. But he opened Pandora's box, then got mad at what he got for a surprise. Why waste that wife's time if you think someone else is more important than that? So that's what I mean. And Mr. Keep It Real Carter, all he said was wow.
Hey, Mr. Carter.
He was like, he said, I've been trying to figure out. No, he said, man, I'm trying to see how I would handle that if it was my dilemma. And I was like, I can get that. And Annette, bless her little heart, she just said she was like, she had the big old eyeballs on there. And then Christian Parker, she said, interesting. So you want, and in parens, she put me, the wife, to help you grieve a woman you wasn't supposed to be with in the first place sounds a little selfish. Who's going to help me, the wife, get through the infidelity? Best advice is probably to part ways for a moment and determine what's important in this relationship because both parties have something to quote unquote work through. If it is meant to be and work through, it will. Michelle, my sister Virgo, she said, I have no sympathy whatsoever. The nerve of him to ask her to respect, understand, and give him time to grieve her. That right there would have me out of the door. Not only does he not want to attend marriage counseling to work on the marriage, but instead thinks grief counseling is what is best for him. Baby, bye. He is he is still putting the wife and marriage on the back burner. She needs to run and let the ghosts from the movies ghost carry him away. And so I was like,
Hmm. Hmm.
and Yasha was like, as strong as a woman's intuition is, we are created with more than five senses. So I'm curious to know how and why she didn't feel, smell, see, hear, taste, and or put two and two together he was cheating. Did she ignore the red flags? Did she travel a lot? Did he travel a lot? Was she cheating also? I guess I'm curious how she found out after the fact because most women who are in tune with their mate see it coming before it happens. And then Mama Gwen said, oh, she said, I watched this on MJ's page today. What the what? Baby.
So, Annette says, my earlier response was a lighthearted comment, but I do. Why you do that while I'm trying to read? Like, why you?
Oh,
Why
I
you?
was putting it up so everybody could see it
Oh,
too.
it was a lighthearted comment, but I do honestly think she needs her own counseling to sort everything out, especially if he's not willing to go together now.
I would concur.
So I'm going to, because there were so many interesting comments made. Um, but I think one of the ones that one of the sets of comments, I should say, that most closely mirrors my own thoughts when I read it was, of course, Yasha.
Mm-hmm.
Um, how did you not know? So for me, and this was a conversation that I was having with my mister, he said, and your mister said the same, for all of this to have existed, there was a vacuum, a need of some sort that was not being met within the marriage to begin with. So I think we probably need to start unpacking there
Uh-huh.
because, as she said, we are given more than just our five senses, and we have intuition. When something is not right, we feel it in our spirit. We may choose to ignore it, but we feel it in our spirit. Because see, I'm not here to
Or
manhandle
our
you. Like,
bodies don't. For me, our bodies
bodies will
don't
be like,
respond.
no.
Or it's like, yeah, yeah, no, you don't smell right. Yeah, something off.
Look, we both was like,
Something's off. Yeah, it's a whole lot to unpack right here.
because I'm just like, you ain't know, boo.
Right.
So how long was this going on? So were
It
you
didn't
not?
really say.
So were you not?
And then they were coworkers.
They were co-workers, so I get that, because it's been some co-workers.
So
Opportunity
opportunities.
presented itself, and I say that because I hang out with my coworkers. Like we all hang out in a big group, and a lot of them, because a lot of them are not from here,
Mm-hmm.
so we hang out, quite a bit. Not so much stuff, but we hang out quite a bit. So we're always doing things together. But even in always doing things together, we almost always have our significant others with us. So even if they are not with us, they are aware. If I go out with my crew, well, not my crew, but my coworkers or whatnot, you better believe they know. They see this on my neck. They hear me talking. They see the pictures on my. They know. You know what I mean? So it's not a.
It's not secret.
It's not a secret. So
Now,
and then
all y'all might not know.
well they do now, but then again, then the flip side to that is she was also married.
Hmm.
So then when Yasha was like, does she travel a lot? Does he travel a lot? Somebody got to not be around, and somebody has to not be. I won't even say somebody has to not be present, whether that's mentally, emotionally, um, but
Physically,
mentally, so
sexually,
mentally and emotionally, sexually, just
something's missing somewhere.
physically, you have to just not be there.
And then sometimes, and I'm saying male and female because it takes both.
It does.
Sometimes people are just asswipes and they just go out there and do what the hell they gonna do.
This is true.
So we have one comment that says, "Well, I'm gonna let you grieve because I love myself, and you are telling me that I'm second fiddle. Remember this when you finish whatever you're going through. You don't miss a good thing until it's gone. Now I'm gonna leave this right here. I didn't see it coming, or I chose now.
I chose
I
not to.
chose now. Yeah, not to, but now the thrill is
It's definitely
definitely
gone.
gone." And Michelle says all the time, intuition is not ignored. When confronted, the individual being confronted
Lies.
lies.
So now I went through that with Kiana's father. I was 7 months pregnant when I found out. And as far as ignoring your intuition, there were nights where I just couldn't sleep because he worked nights, but I knew that he needed to come in. He generally came in at a certain time, and there were nights where I could not sleep.
That was way off.
I was pregnant, like I was, pregnant for a week. We sleep like the
You
damn
said
dead.
you was pregnant, pregnant.
I was pregnant. I was like pregnant. So sleep is like one of those things. Like you just gonna do that. I couldn't sleep. Like literally, I during the last portion of my pregnancy, and up at this point in time, they had me on sleep medication because I could not sleep. I did not have peace in my spirit, but I didn't know why.
It's because Kiana had a sibling coming.
Well, at that point in time, she didn't have a sibling coming.
He was just practicing.
He was practicing. Um, yeah, but it was, because especially when you're pregnant, your sense of smell is heightened, and I kept smelling and strange things, and it's just, and he would, you
Have an
know,
excuse.
I don't know what you smell. I work in a call center. We're all sitting very close together. Maybe that's what it is. And so there were always all these excuses. And so when she talks about, the person who's confronted lies, absolutely. But there comes a point in time where when you're paying attention, I'm gonna tell you something. If you have to question, there's something to question. That is how we are made. I'm looking into the camera. That is how we are made. If you have a question, if there is a question circling in your spirit, there's a question to be had. There's a reason
If that
that
question is
question
there.
exists. There's a reason.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason. And if you don't have no questions, you are not paying attention. You are not in tune with your partner. You are not paying attention.
You're not in tune with your body.
Right,
Because your
because then it was
body
that part of
will.
that too. Because it was just like, I don't want stop touching me. Why are you touching me? Okay, moment of transparency. Pregnant women like, we need to get it in. Hormones is getting just in flux, just be on it all the time, just whatever. So for your body to reject your partner And this is for me it was the father of my child. I was just like, she don't like you. Well, at the time we thought it was a little boy, and I was like, he don't like you. Don't touch me. He don't like you.
But it was your body
It was
telling
my body
you.
saying it's something right.
Well, one of the things that I came across online, and this was from a guy that was making these comments, that was responding, and he said some things that we've said, and our people have said. But he said your husband had a mistress. He is completely wrong for that. He cheated, he lied, he violated, and betrayed the union.
Mm-hmm.
All bets are off if you want. You matter too.
Mm-hmm.
That was the very first point that this man made. It was like that was, and that part was what really caught my attention. Because you got this young man saying, you matter,
Absolutely.
you matter. He said
Absolutely.
the second thing he said was, "I'm sorry she passed," and he's grieving, but he had no compassion for how his behavior would make you
You feel.
feel. He felt zero compassion for hurting, betraying, and embarrassing you,
Mm-hmm.
violating your marriage, exposing you to disease. He is clearly not you. See, that was my thing right there. You've been dealing with this hookhead heifer, and you ain't got so comfortable till you rolling raw dog, and you coming back to me. Okay, back to what he said. He said he's exposing you to diseases. He's exposing you to quote unquote outside babies, exposing you to whatever she and her husband carried. He could have killed you. Once again, he said, you
Matter.
matter. Said the third point he made was he is so traumatized that he quit his job. What if you had quit your job because the wound of betrayal was so bad?
Mm.
And once again, he said, you matter.
Matter.
Said, this isn't a competition. You matter. He said, I'm done giving grace. This is number 5 to men who have no issue hurting their wives and expecting forgiveness and love in return. Nope. You matter. He said, number 6, compassion, empathy, and comfort are reserved for those who offer you the same. He
Reciprocity.
said, you haven't even had time to grieve the marriage you thought you had. You
You
just,
thought you had.
he said, you haven't even had time to grieve the marriage you thought you had. So you just found out your husband is cheating. Meanwhile, he steals the spotlight and wants you to ignore your pain and focus on his pain, which he created. Nope,
You
you
matter.
matter. Yeah, I like him too. Um, so the next thing he said was he created this. He needs to lay in this bed
Mm.
and think long and hard about ever hurting anyone again. He was careless,
Mm-hmm.
thoughtless,
Mm-hmm.
and brutal with your heart.
Mm.
Now, God has allowed consequences, and He can receive those. I don't feel sorry for Him. He created this. And again, I say,
You
you matter. Now, he proceeds to go on and he says, he never intended, he says he never intended to leave me. He thinks you still want him. He is in his own world. He still doesn't realize he has hurt you by cheating. He doesn't think he has done anything wrong. He is not ready to work on your marriage. He said, he's like, I don't think you should be either. He said he does need to see a grief counselor on his own. And you need therapy on your own, like Annette said, like you said, like several others said.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I still haven't heard nor seen your emotions, your anger, your rage, your pain, nothing. And again, I will say, you
Yeah.
matter. He said, the answer to your last question is neither. He was like, you're focused on him. He is focused on him. Who is focused on you?
Mm.
No one. Get it? You need to focus on you, not him, and not the marriage. You don't have a marriage. He said, I think that the woman is being emotionally and mentally
Abuse.
abused
Yep.
and brutalized by her husband because she doesn't realize yet that she matters. She is she is participating in her own death. That is what I think. And I want her to live. So until she chooses to live and makes it mandatory for others in her life to say, he said she is dead, so there's no reasons for me to feel jealous or threatened. And he asked for my understanding as he grieves. It's like, ma'am, he's a selfish, manipulative con artist who thinks only of himself. Even in this moment, all he can think about is don't be jealous or threatened by her. Have compassion for me. Has he learned nothing? And he has no true remorse. He is implying the only reason you wouldn't be understanding is because you're jealous. The truth is, any woman would be pissed off because he lied, cheated, and violated covenant,
Mm-hmm.
exposed you to STDs, betrayed his commitment, destroyed your family, created a new family, and so much more. Ma'am, he doesn't see it. He doesn't get it. He is trying to minimize the extent of the damage he caused while shifting the focus to your refusal to comfort him. He is a con.
Mm-hmm.
If you give him what he wants, you will enable a con and create a monster. He will never treat you well because you're sending a message that even in your own pain, you can still take care of him. You think that's noble? He won't. He will use that as a doorway to continue to manipulate you. You matter. It's like many men, and I love this. I'm sorry, y'all, but this man went in. He said, many men never learn because wives and mothers don't let them experience consequences. He doesn't know if the child is his or the husband. Good.
Yeah.
That is what he wanted. He was married and he chose to sleep with a married woman. He bet he would get away with it. He didn't. That is called justice. And I serve a just God. Stop being an adulterer or suffer the consequences. Let him learn this. Of course, you find it extremely difficult to be emotionally supportive. Why would you support him when he placed you in a position to cry in the middle of the night? See, that takes us back to what Michelle said. If she and the baby lived and you discovered the affair, would he support your tears in the middle of the night? Nope. You matter. Hear me clearly. Men, cause it's a man in this example, need to stop treating their wives horribly, cheating, and then assuming their wives will simply forgive them and be Christ like when he is not. Nope. Women must demand better treatment. He bet and he lost. Let him deal with the consequences.
I could not figure out why this why this stuck so personally to me. Like I was like furious reading this. But in listening to like the last couple things that you mentioned,
Mhm.
like that was kind of an excerpt. Except Chick wasn't married. That was an excerpt from my life. Like I didn't even. So I had not put two and two together. I was just this whole thing just pissed me off.
It just
It
built.
was it was just churning, like it's been
It was
churning in my
triggering
stomach,
you. It was
and I
very
didn't know
triggering.
why. And I'm just like, I get it.
It's a trigger.
It is
And you're right, Clarissa. It is narcissistic behavior.
absolutely,
And it's like you mean a doormat to continue to walk all over. Right.
exactly, absolutely, absolutely,
But
absolutely.
it was just like I was well for me. And we didn't really talk a lot about this, but we did hit at it a little bit. Um, I'm thinking about her husband
Yeah, well, we just gonna go there next.
and when and if he found out, and then to discover that there is a child that he has buried along with his wife that may not even.
Has been his. Whew, Lord,
Mm.
a mercy.
Kimberly tickled me. She said, "Is he still living?"
We
I would assume so, considering the fact that
getting this post.
yeah. Now you all are welcome if you have any if you want
Like
to
Beverly, it is just like,
right. It's like if you want to call in, feel free because this is one of those topics where it's not just a standard. Well, this person cheated and I found out about it, and so we're having the normal explosion. Things were revealed after the passing, and it's unfortunate, but that often happens.
hmm
People find out about, and unfortunately, she was pregnant, and this child, this innocent child, died in the accident, whatever type of accident it was. But oftentimes, people find out about siblings, find out about um, bonus children that they didn't know existed after a person
Person died, yeah,
passes.
after death.
And there have been situations where I have, had to play for funerals where, one lady that I know, she made it clear to her husband's outside children, one, you will not be in the obituary. She told me, because you all were not born to our union, and this is my husband.
Mm.
I see her point, but what she did do, she made it, and they did not, they walked in with the family, but not, they did not sit with her and her children.
hmm
She had a spot that was right across from them
hmm
that his other children sat. And, everybody deals with situations differently, but that kind of made me feel some kind of way because, I don't know how I would how I would feel as this man's child. And we've had a cordial relationship, and say you're the wife. We've had a cordial relationship. He dies, and then it's basically you're telling me I'm like, you know, a piece of wet napkin on the side, and I can't sit with my brothers and sisters. I understand you're not my mother, but these are my siblings, and that is my daddy. I do carry his DNA. So it's like, yes, you're his wife, but that's still my daddy. And I thank you for being thoughtful enough to put us together. but you're not. So it's like there was just so many layers to that. So it's like, what do you do? How would, and I put myself in her situation. Like, even had this woman and this child had come about, and her husband passed away, and it turns out to be his, then all of the sudden child support payments are coming out of your household income
The hell?
for a child that you
You ain't
didn't
know
know
nothing
exists.
about.
Are
I'll be
you?
like,
Yeah, it's just it's
wasn't my look, wasn't my sperm.
girl. It's just like, okay. It's like, so if the mistress didn't die, he would have still been carrying on with her. You're
Mm-hmm.
exactly right. You're exactly right. And so
Mm-hmm.
it's like, we have to, when we're looking at it, um,
Mm-hmm. 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 Why I can't do it? Okay.
hmm, remember they ran Bobby Brown and his kids from Whitney's funeral.
So I'm gonna tell you about two instances. So I grew up on the street when I was young. With this hood. All the kids all running up and down the street. It is a long time ago. It was different than it is now. And there's this man. He used to sit outside. And we called him Wawa. I don't remember what his name really was, but it was Wawa. And Wawa used to sit outside on this wall, this little brick wall that was out in front of this house. And Wawa had this woman, and I said, she said she left a message. Wawa had this woman I thought was his wife. I know it wasn't his wife. But so I sat there and I'm like, huh. Well, when he died, when he died, now, mind you, I done grown up with this man. I don't know this man, I was young, but my entire life. So, I've known him for some years. As far as I knew that the lady that lived at the top of that hill was his wife. Honey, he died. The wife showed up in the fur. She rode in the limo. Her and her children rode in the family limo. Showed up at the funeral and took over.
See, in that regard, that is why I respect the other lady that I was talking about for establishing, and actually being a woman and saying, okay, look, this is the situation.
Hmm.
And, you know, everybody knew that they existed.
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't know how I would feel if I were that child or one of those children and I'm not even acknowledging my own father's obedience.
His grandfather, when he passed. Remember I told you the like a couple of days before the funeral, they found like five more kids that he knew
Oh,
about
they're
them.
not, yeah.
Didn't nobody else know about them, but they found like five more kids. Now, mind you, he got the kids all over the country anyway. They found like five more kids. I mean, we all grown at this time, but still. I don't know why you do that. You knew about this. We talked about this when it happened. You,
But that's
you
not the
knew.
part. Okay,
You knew.
what message? Where did you leave a message, Kimberly? Because the phone didn't ring.
Hmm. So yeah,
Did she
it's
leave it on your phone?
on my phone. They're not. You got my phone? No.
No, I'm saying did she? She said she left a message.
Yeah,
Did she?
none of my phone.
Okay. Where did you leave the message, Kim?
But yeah, so that is a for very a very very real.
Is this her number?
Yeah, I think so.
It said an hour ago. That's not an hour ago.
Let me look.
Okay. Is that it?
I'm trying to check my phone. Hold on.
Because if it is,
I
I'm
don't know
about
people.
to.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying I don't know like people's numbers. You know how this works.
Hmm.
We don't know nobody's numbers. Let's see.
Yep.
That's
Okay.
it.
Well, I'm getting ready to play her message now. Merciful Father, help us all, because ain't no telling what
What Kim
Kim
about
done
to
said.
say, Lord Jesus?
Here we go, ladies and gents.
I call in, but you guys didn't answer. But if this situation were um for me, man, I wouldn't have been mad about um the cheating and all that stuff. I would just left. But the stuff he said to her afterwards, nah, that wouldn't have fly with me. Wouldn't have flew or fly, whatever. Wouldn't have flew with me. I can't say on the screen, on the live what I would do because I think it's against the law. But that wouldn't fly with me.
Yeah, and that's been the general consensus. Thank you for calling. That would have been the general consensus um, um, for most people, because that is a tough pill to swallow, even when you are not the person that is dealing with it.
Yeah.
But then to put yourself, like I said, I keep thinking about the other guy, like what Alvin was saying. How would, I feel in that situation?
Okay. For those who know me but don't know me, when we were in college, this one right here, yeah, this is the one I'm running around. Yeah, you just calm down. It's okay. It'll calm down. Calm down. Calm down. It'll be okay. It's okay. I promise. It's okay. We'll work it out. It's okay. Calm down.
Yeah,
Breathe.
because I found out.
I don't know what happened, but a script got flipped at some point in time. So I try. So the calm I always used to try to instill in her, I try very, very hard to live by and to keep.
Because for me, and I think for me with this situation,
He'd have been
it's very,
dead.
it is very, it hit me really, really hard because I thought about my situation you talking about when we were in college.
Mm-hmm.
And here it is, I'm dating this guy. We're together 4, 5 nights a week,
Yep.
because I'm staying in the dorm, so he can't stay in the dorm with me. So we're in a hotel all night. He's picking me up. He's on campus all day. We're hanging out. We're doing whatever all day
All day.
when I'm not in class, all day. And I find out
Excuse me.
one particular evening, bless you, while we're at the hotel, he's in the shower or the bathroom doing whatever, and his phone rings. I answer. It's a woman.
That's when they had those big bricks.
And I'm
Big.
like, yeah. And I'm like, he's not available right now. Would you like to leave a message? And when she said, yeah, tell him that his wife called.
Hmm.
I said, excuse me? I said, his what? She was like, his wife. I was like, ma'am, I have been dating XYZ for the last however many months we have been together. And I told her right there on the spot, I am so sorry. I did not know you existed.
Mm-hmm.
And needless to say, that became the beginning of a very long series of I'm gonna get you, sucker.
Yeah.
It became, I mean, it was, and she and I had a very enlightening conversation. And, but it made me feel some kind of way because I know how it would have made me feel to be made to look like a fool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out here, I'm grinding, I'm taking care of our children, and you sitting up here 4 or 5 nights out of the week And we're not talking about just a couple of hours.
No.
We're talking, we're together basically sun up to sundown, except for when I'm in class. And he lived, based on what she said, they lived about an hour and a half because they were like in Clarksdale. So that was like about an hour and a half, almost 2 hours from Valley. So it's like, so when do you have time to to be married? She had no clue. I was, I was business trips apparently.
Mm.
She's like why the first thing that comes to mind is to get the Vaseline in my gym shoes. Well, I didn't have Vaseline. I did have gym shoes, but I also carried weapons at the time.
Which was why I was always running. Calm down. It's okay. Calm down. It's okay.
So, needless to say, and she kind of, she told me this within the last couple of years that she basically put out the word, if you see him, keep him away from her because she's going to kill him.
Yep, I did.
Because that is all that I had on my brain. How are you going to turn around and play me to the left and you have a whole wife? You have a whole, not just a wife, you have a whole family, dude.
Yeah.
So that's one reason I am so particular about, I would always, and my husband will tell you, one of the first questions I asked him, are you the type of dude that's got to have more than one woman?
Yeah.
Because if I know you're that type of person, I won't expect monogamy from you. We'll have our situationship
Yeah.
and we'll both be happy because we both know what we're dealing with.
Right.
But if we are, kicking it and we're both moving toward something more permanent, like this young lady who put
Mm-hmm.
up her post marriage, and I discovered that you out here all willy nilly, then, especially when I ask you up front,
See, that's my thing. Tell me what this is, and tell me how we gonna move. Are you poly? Are we, are we going to be serious? What do when we make the decision? Okay, this is where we are. I can be like, okay, well,
whatever's clever.
whatever's clever, or I could be like, I'm not going to share.
Hmm.
If I tell you I'm not going to share it, that's probably about the only warning you will get because I will go left. I don't know when the transference happens.
With a quick right.
Listen, I don't know when the transference happened between the two of us. But whereas I was always, it's okay, it'll be okay, it'll be okay. Now I'll be like, I'm gonna need you to come. I'm gonna need to. We need to take a road trip. I got some stuff in my truck. I need us to go handle some stuff.
We need a girls
Yeah,
trip.
we need girls trip. Yeah, but we need two different vehicles though. But we got like a girls trip.
Right. So,
Make a few phone calls.
but so it's like, even in dealing with and talking about all of this, it's just like, you know, it's kind of hard when you are looking at it from, the perspective of, because she seems like she's maybe the type of female that pretty much has her head on straight, but she has been thrown for such a loop.
Mhm.
So how do you, as a person, be it the husband that discovered his wife was unfaithful, was pregnant or whatever, or the wife that discovered her husband was unfaithful and may have potentially lost a child. with a woman that's dead that just happens to be a coworker. Now, see, back to the coworker deal.
Hmm.
Now, y'all work together, so I have a strong issue with the fact that um, when I'm with you at company gatherings,
She looking in
I'm
my
being
face.
that plus I'm being made to look like a fool in front of your coworkers because
Somebody
somebody knows
knows,
something.
and somebody gonna say something.
No, a lot of times, sometimes they won't.
I ain't saying to you. I ain't saying to him.
Yeah,
They gonna say it to each other.
yes.
They're gonna be like, "You
They go
see
to
that? There
wife.
they go. There's the
Hmm.
wife." Mm. Be like, I wonder how this gonna play out. Cause I'm gonna sit over in the corner with some popcorn. I wonder how this gonna play out.
Right.
And I have, I love my team at work. I'm quick to pull somebody to the cut and be like, look here.
See, don't and see for me, I'm very empathetic toward the wife because I'm like, he made her look like a complete and total fool
Hmm. But then again, the other wife did the same
to her husband.
to her husband.
Uh,
Well,
said, okay, the men prey on that type of stuff. So it's like,
oh, that's my cousin, AK.
it's like I was in that situation
With the twins'
with the
father.
twins'
Yeah,
father. It was like, and it wasn't pretty when I found out.
yeah, no.
It's like you have to get mad at the men and not the wife. But if I'm the husband of that wife,
Yeah, the other husband.
yeah, if I'm the other husband, I'm pissed off with her. And it's a situation where you better be glad it's against the law to dig your butt up because I would dig you up just to slap the crap out of you for making me look like a fool, for loving you and burying you and what may or may not have been my child.
Mm. I'm to a point in life. I don't. As far as
It's said an accident.
maybe maybe her husband knew.
It did say it was an accident. It did
Listen,
not distinguish what type of accident.
I thought my cousin wrote that. I was just like, well, that might run in my family.
Very valid point.
But yeah, we to other people don't make me look like a fool to myself. Okay, now see, that's exactly what I was about to say. When it comes to looking like a fool to myself, I am.
Mother Joanne
This
was
is like
like,
what?
mm.
No, I thought your comment was. I thought my cousin wrote that comment. I'm sorry, mother. So for me, I'm one of those people. I'm at a point. I don't really care. People because people are gonna talk about you when you're doing good, talk about you when you're doing bad. The point is they're gonna keep talking about you. It don't matter. So live your life, and that's where I am in my life. I'm living my life. I do what I choose to do. If it looks crazy to somebody else, that's okay. You don't have to walk in my shoes.
All of that.
I'm not there. I don't.
You are finally in a place of peace.
Yeah. And I mean, I went through that. I was like, oh my God, what are people going to think? What are people going to say? How does this look? What's this, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Now I'm just like, I
Well,
don't.
see, people had different things to say when they learned that we all live in the same house.
Oh my God. I'm going to tell y'all. We've lived together for 4 years. People swear up and down that it's something
A
else
very
going
unique
on. I'm just
yeah,
like,
dynamic. No, there are two households
in
in this
one house,
household, but
so
we are yet one household.
yeah. So, but yeah, it just so I'm not one. I don't worry about what other people think. I don't care what other people say. Especially in this community because I do a lot of work in the community. I know a lot of people in the community, so I'm at the point now where I don't really worry about what you have to say about my personal life. If I show up with somebody and you're like, oh, that's the biggest hole in the block, guess what? The biggest hole in the block is currently in my corner. So guess what? I don't care. But if the person I am being made to look a fool to is me, now we got a for real issue.
Right.
We got a for real.
Like I said,
You might not live to see the morning
and she was
issue.
saying, yeah, she was saying that that was because they did not say what kind of accident.
Listen, if it was a relative of mine, I'm just gonna say,
You know what? We're not going to say that it was a potential relative of yours. We're
it's one of
not.
my people.
We're not saying that. But yeah, it was just like one of those. Like I said, it's a situation where like what, and I'm going to the actual post now.
Okay, now see that's the funny thing because I get on, I post repost what I'm going to post and repost, and I get off. I just kind of tune out the world. So I've never seen the actual post other than what you've sent me. I'm sorry, I've never seen the actual post. I've heard about it from a whole lot of people, but I've never seen the actual post.
Well, see, I've just seen this being I've seen this being kind of you know shifted around and screen the same screenshots kind of floating around.
Okay.
But one of the things that still bugs the hell out of me is this scam booger had the I mean he had the nerve
Audacity. That's not even nerve, honey. That's audacity.
to quit his job
Well, if she was there,
because it was too traumatic to go to work. I don't give a flying ooh wee. Uh, you shouldn't have been playing on the job because you never mix your penis, your pussy, or your paper.
mm-mm,
You don't mix those up.
mm-mm,
You don't play where you get paid.
mm-mm.
You don't do that. That's just excuse the language, but that's just how I've always said
Yeah,
it. Two, you're gonna quit the job that's taking care of our household
because that's what
because
she
this
was.
because this heifer is dead, dude. Our bills still got to be paid. The house she lived in, her husband is taking care of all that. Her insurance went to him.
Not you.
So while you sitting up here being all mortified and traumatized and whatever other kind of fight you want to call it, the light bill still has to be paid.
I'm gonna need you to handle this mortgage.
We still have groceries that need to be purchased. We still have
Because
gas
your
that
ass still want to eat.
he can eat. He can eat some hot dogs.
Because he had to pay for them.
Right.
Him, and him. Right.
It's about him,
And him.
and him. And so, but it's like, okay, the fact that he had the nerve to quit his job, that is just, now see, there have been times where, and you've known this, now you can get to a point, because my husband's been there and you've been there, when you get to the point that you go to a job, or just the fact that when you wake up in the morning, you have to go to this job and you become physically
Ill.
ill.
Mm-hmm.
Now okay, it's time to make some moves because my
But the
job.
move is not to walk in there and be like, deuces, I can't be here. It's causing me heartache.
Right.
Or you be like, deuces, I can't be here because it's causing me heartache. And I'm about to go start at this gig down the street
Right.
that I've already got lined up before I told y'all deuces. I ain't Gary just
Call y'all deuces
because
because right. And then the fact that you want her to hold you and console you while you're crying over another woman.
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna hug you.
You got to
Hold on.
know when to hold
No,
on.
let me tell you. So, and it's funny to me because I have a friend, Kim, on the one that's on the Sunday show, Queen. Um,
I love Clarissa.
he can grieve at work while he making that money for our household, okay? But
With their coworkers.
with their coworkers. So Queen always called her Grouchy Smurf, and we used to talk about giving people hugs, the people that we didn't like, and the people, and there was a couple folks, who we truly had to give them hugs, and they were like, "Well, I thought you didn't like that person, and why are you hugging that person? And that just doesn't make sense." And da 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 da. And she said something, and she has been Grouchy Smurf to me ever since that day. She said, "I'm hugging them so I know what size body bag and how much rope I need."
You know what? But it makes sense.
So I'm gonna hug you, baby. Come here, let me give you a hug. Come
It
on, mama,
makes
let me
sense.
give you a hug.
Now, the piece that gets me is okay, she's willing to work through whatever she needs to work through with it. Okay. Or at least try to. I can respect that. I can
She's
respect.
a
What is the saying? That's a lot. That's a lot of dung. I don't think I can say the other word. I got
it's
you.
some bullshit stuff.
I got you.
Bullshiggity. There we go. And
Yeah,
I'm being good.
yeah.
Bullshiggity.
But it's like we talk about the emotional aspects of things, and I can respect her wanting to work on her marriage because whatever, whatever, whatever. That's her choice, her marriage, her choice to desire to work on it, work through it.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't want to work on us because you want to work on getting over her, her, her. But then because I'm not sympathetic, you say I'm jealous. I'm not jealous. I'm just trying to keep this blade
From
off
off
of
of
your
your throat.
off, off of
Off your
particular
throat.
yeah,
Your carotid.
off of particular off of
Carotid.
particular
Mm-hmm.
location up around certain parts.
See, I'm gonna say like I told you. I ain't gonna stab you in your throat. I ain't gonna stab you in your throat. So you got a female all the way right here.
Mhm. But that's a slow roller.
Damn sure is. And I'm gonna sit there. Okay, it's been about 4 minutes. I'll call 911 now.
You know what? You know what? But it's just like, so my thing is, and this is just Dee's opinion. I think that what what she needs to do is actually go to a therapist, not necessarily for the sake of working on her marriage, but to work on her.
Yeah, she was saying she needs to have an emotional evaluation because she doesn't feel embarrassed. Very low. What about her family? Mm.
That's yet another dynamic.
Mm.
That's yet another piece of the puzzle.
I mean, when you say her family,
And see,
a
I
family
want
with him, or just like my family? Because my family, you're gonna disappear. So family with him,
but see,
like if
and it
they have
makes you
children or
wonder.
whatever together.
Well, see, and that was the next thing. I was like, I wonder if they have children, and
Bruh.
if they do, that may be part of why she wants to
Work
try
on her
to work
marriage.
on her marriage because she wants to try to
Salvage her
maintain,
family.
yeah, maintain
Okay, I can see that.
a family for her children.
I can see that.
Because
Her
if
mother, father, children, etc.
because
Listen,
if it was just, I'm honestly, if it was just her, I don't think she would care about trying to work on anything. Especially with all the different layers of disrespect that has accompanied
yeah,
everything since she found out.
right,
And this is, like I said, this is just me thinking, there's got to be a child or children
involved.
involved somewhere.
Got to be, because she's like her mother, father, children, etc. Children, and like you said, if she's working on her marriage for the sake of children, she wants to, preserve the sanctity of family. I mean, again, I talk about Kayan's father. I did that for all of our children, like his children, our child. I did that for them, and tried to work through that. My mama and daddy, in this situation right here, my father, he'd have been real cool. He'd have been like, I'm gonna need you to just come on back up out of there. Come on and let us talk about this, and we're gonna work through it. And I'm gonna need you not to tell your mother, because your mother gonna kill him. So I'm gonna need you to just, you can come and talk to me about it, and I'm gonna make a phone call or two. But if you tell your mother, it's gonna be messy. It's gonna be dead bodies, body parts. I'm gonna need you not to really
But
discuss this with
see,
your mother.
even with that, even if there were children, the fact that he doesn't
Give a
care,
damn about his own with her.
the but he is grieving over a child that may or may not
Have been here.
have been his.
If she stays and tries to work things out, won't he think that he can get over on her all the time?
Yes,
Absolutely.
ma'am.
Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely.
And so it's just one of those situations where, you know, the fact that if we have children, you've been down bad. We have children, and you aren't willing to work on maintaining your household for their sake. That by itself would be a no-brainer, or
Listen.
should be a no-brainer, to say, you know what, me, not only do I deserve better, but my children deserve better.
If
You are more
you
concerned over a possible dead child than
your own in this house. Because if it's just me and you we talking about, that's one thing.
mhm,
But when you start talking about the children,
it puts it in a
when
different
you it
perspective.
does, it does. It puts it in a different perspective, because we had to I know these women, we had to really try to talk about some things, work some things. But then, like they have made mention, he's going to think he got away with it. So because he thinks he got away with it, he's going to continue. And he's going to continue to manipulate and to abuse her, and to basically to end up trying to destroy her self worth. And we need to catch up anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna holler at you in a little bit. We need to catch up anyway. Um, yeah, and so that's an extremely valid point. So at this point in time, it's just like, okay, so if you're willing to do all of this, you quit your job. We had these kids.
It's like,
You're not taking care of home. Yes, if they're old enough to understand, they would look at both of them differently. They do. They do. And the thing about it is, even if they're not old enough to understand at that point in time, when they get older,
and she said that's what you were saying, and that's what she was trying to say.
when they get older, baby, when you talk about when the kids ask, well, what happened between you and dad? What happened? I know y'all work together. What happened? There's going to come a point in time where there is going to be a reckoning. A reckoning.
Hmm.
Hey, boo. People people only do to you what you allow them to do. When they realize that you're not going to tolerate their mess, they will change their tune. And again, the folks who, try to manipulate you and try to, um, they try to take you through, they take you down through it, just trying to and then they're like, oh, well, you know, you did it, Dad, why can't I? So I'm going to tell you that the children that were involved in our situation, because they're all adults now, when I tell you the level of respect that they have for him is nil. One is trying to really kind of follow in his footsteps, which is very dangerous. Another is just like, you know what, that's just dad, that's just what it is. Another will have absolutely positively nothing to do with him. No, two of them, nothing to do with him, nothing to do with him. And one of them, like I said, of those two, the Keona said resentment, flat out resents him.
You did it, Dad, so why can't I?
Absolutely. That's what I said. One of them, that's he's following in his footsteps and just be like, oh, do you really see what you're doing? Do you really see?
No.
And do you not understand that your manipulation and your degradation and the way that you have and your misogynistic viewpoints that you have, just carried on out throughout all this time funnels down into your children, and that's how they see this.
She said, and it's so funny that she's saying this.
She said, "Oh, this story's about you, okay?"
Yeah, it's like, but you said how it hit.
Yeah, it did.
And you were trying to figure out why is this
triggering
me?
Yeah, why is this triggering me? Why is this making my stomach upset? Why is it making my head hurt?
Okay. It's like I have a friend who was married over 20 plus years and he cheated on her throughout the marriage. They finally got a divorce and her grown kids asked her why did she stay with their dad while he did that to her. And a lot of times it's, there's so many different dynamics in every relationship.
They were upset and said she should have
left her dad.
She should have left her dad. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, Elder, it wasn't my story, but like I made the comment earlier about how, excuse me, I couldn't figure out why this story like affected me and why it like made my stomach turn and it made my head hurt, and I'm just like, it's just a Facebook story, and I couldn't really like put two and two together until when we were sitting here and we were talking,
and then
to actually read the comments out loud. I mean, it's one thing to read it, but when you hear it, and we talk about words have power, and they have meaning. Is one thing to read the words, it's another thing to hear them. And in hearing them, I'm like, oh shit. Like, that's why it's bothering me. That's why this story aggravates the hell out of me. That's why, and I'm sitting up here just mad as hell at her. And it's like, why are you mad at her? Why are you staying? But then when you talk about the children, yeah, I did it. I did it for the children. And then it got to a point where even that wasn't enough, because it became a point of, as the guy said, you matter. Became a point of, wait a minute, I'm here too. And that's what she's going to have to do. She's going to have to get to a point of
realizing that
I'm here too.
Matters. Yeah.
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 She said it hurts your family big time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it does. It does. It does.
And she says, get yourself out of there.
Oh, yeah. You got to. You got to.
Well, see, it's one of those situations where if she doesn't, all of those emotions are going to come to a head.
She gonna be on an episode of Snatch.
Get out of my head.
She gonna be on an episode. Gonna be sitting up going.
And that's exactly what I was about to say. It's like it will all kind of compound to the point where it's like you are for real, truly
standing at the end of the bed with a pistol,
and just unload, and folks will be like, but she was always
so sweet. She was so nice.
I didn't see this. Why would she do that?
Why would he go flying out the window? Or why he fly down the stairs head first? How did that happen?
Well, I just couldn't. I wonder. Right. It's like, why would she do that? Because she's always so quiet, so nice. Because she's one of those types that likes to keep in-house business in-house. What did you say, mother? It says, remember the song long ago, thin line between love and hate. Yes, ma'am. They said, and that's exactly what you say. Yes, because when they do finally snap, and it does not have to be in the middle of a manic episode for them to snap. Most of the time when we snap when things are calm, but it's like everything compounds in our heads to the point where it's like, you know what?
Triggers you.
Right,
Your tie was on crooked. I ain't about that tie for you.
right,
What's that smell?
right. And it's just enough is enough.
Or you just sitting there one day and you watching TV.
And that's why I can't be
First 48.
well see
CSI.
because of some of the things that, I've experienced. That's why I don't watch certain types of shows.
Yeah.
Like, being a rape survivor. I don't watch shows, period, that have rape scenes.
Yeah.
Even though I have basically healed from the experience.
Yeah.
But I don't ever want to be in a position where I'm triggered and then all of those things that I thought were resolved that weren't resolved come flying out, and then I am in a crazy state of mind. So not only will y'all be giving me my nerve pills, stress gummies, you'll have a whole bottle of something.
I'm
and
quick
you'll
to
be
make a
like,
cocktail.
just drink
drink
all
it.
of it.
All of it.
Just
Don't,
drink
I
all
don't, don't
of
worry
it.
about what it tastes like.
Don't even breathe. Just drink.
Swallow.
Just,
Hold your nose
right.
and swallow it.
Just drink.
Well, and I guess for me, I went in the opposite direction. With the abuse, like the actual physical abuse, and so I went into the kickboxing. Baby girl went into martial arts. I did I was a boxer for a while. Because I took it as, you're not going to get me again. I will not be
Oh
in
yeah, I
those
did that. I
situations
know how
again.
to defend.
Oh yeah, no, I know. But that's what I'm saying. But so like I can watch. So when we have those shows on, and these women, and they getting their tails kicked, I will sit up there and I will cuss and fuss at the daggum TV. But then when they turn around, I'll be like, okay, this is what you do. So when they finally turn themselves around and they start fighting back, I'll be like, okay,
Tina,
that's what you
Tina,
do.
what's love got to do with
we
it?
gonna eat the cake, everybody. Oh, we ain't eating the damn cake today. You eat the cake. Sorry, I got emotional.
Yeah, but yeah, it's just like one of those situations where, but yeah, there's so much that remains to be unpacked.
TV show.
Right. It's like enough.
Enough. Absolutely.
So, but there's still so many more layers that we,
We
did
don't
not
challenge.
delve, yeah, that we did not address.
into,
Yeah, but we did hit things, for the most part, and I'm glad that we actually did talk about it because it was kind of therapeutic
Okay.
to kind of get.
See, there we go with that again. Because I'm sitting up here thinking therapeutic, and you actually said it.
It's kind of therapeutic because when you think about some of the things that so many people experience and people that we know, that have experienced, and I'm not just speaking in terms of females that have men that are unfaithful, but I'm also thinking about the guys who
Have
are
women that
dealing
are.
right and they give their all to their marriages, and because right now there's young man when he goes to get his children, you know or pick up or drop them off over at the other, at the wife's house, soon to be ex-wife's house or whatever. He said when he sees certain things or people,
Mm-hmm.
it triggers him, and it takes him back to all of those emotions he felt in the household.
Yeah.
and it explains why he felt so much anger and frustration and all of that stuff while he was in that household.
I got one for you. Sister girl died, the one with the baby.
Hmm.
So imagine if she hadn't, and then that baby was then brought into her home for her to care for it, because she's married to the dad,
Okay,
or
my
she's
head
with the
just start.
dad.
I know a situation like that too, girl. My head just start hurting.
Just saying. So,
But yeah,
hooray!
but we're about to go ahead and shut this puppy down right now. But I just want to say, thank you all for joining us. And next week we've got a couple of more pretty decent topics, but we're about to crank up a couple of episodes on our wind downs
Yeah.
because they are a little bit more adult theme focused as it relates to like my kinky Christians page.
Yeah.
There's some topics that we're gonna hit,
Hmm.
but instead of because we do have some minors that follow this page,
Right.
so we're gonna do those episodes on. I'm gonna have it on the kinky Christians page, but I'm also gonna have it on the wind down
Right.
part of this thing called life.
And we'll start doing other segments because
Because we
oh
have
yeah,
several that we need to go
yeah,
ahead and hit and address. Yeah.
yeah. So I think that we'll have various segments, like you said, the Kinky Christians for one, but other segments that'll all be a part of
Right.
Wind
And
Down.
that's not just dealing with um, how to lay them down just right. We're gonna deal with kinky Christians. We're gonna deal with the realities of sex in relationships, sex in marriage. Um, a lot of times people get married that are Christians because they always hear the scriptures better marry than to burn. Well, if you have no clue as to what in the name of Sam Walton is going on or what you like or what your partner likes,
Ooh, baby.
when you get there, it leads to a lot of the infidelity in the church.
Hmm.
So we're going to be dealing with, the fact that it takes a woman longer to heat up than it does a man. We're going to deal with the Song of Solomon where he turns around and he lays that Mac down on her and she lays it down on him. So when they finally come together, you know what, Mother Elder, I think I need to talk to you because I think you would be a perfect one to jump into that with me, where we talk about how the Song of Solomon is actually foreplay.
Mm.
Because when you start talking about having breasts like a gazelle and all of that kind of stuff,
A limp,
baby,
maybe not a.
you know what?
I'm just saying.
Get out, get just
But just so you know, so for those of you, because I know some people are just like, because I am a spiritual person. I am not. You're not gonna hear me run around. I'm not gonna be
Bible thumping.
thumping the Bible. I'm not gonna hit you with the Bible. However, like I said, I believe in spirituality. So some of the things that I will be dealing with, um, poly relationships, BDSM 101, things of that nature.
And a lot of Christians are living a BDSM lifestyle and
And
don't
don't
even
even
know
know
it.
it.
But anyway, that's going to be one of the topics.
Absolutely. So, just kind of stay tuned and be looking out. I know that Dee does such a phenomenal job with this thing called life, and hopefully I will be able to.
Well, we're going to be still working together
Of
on
course,
all of it.
of course,
Yeah.
of course, of course, of course.
She said, I'm
I'm
going to
gonna
have
have
to
to
reread
reread
some.
some.
Girl, yeah, it is truly a book of foreplay. It is a book of foreplay, honey, because they were engaged and they were betrothed.
Betrothed.
That is the proper term.
They're
And
betrothed.
he laid that Mac down, and she did too. Mm. She stroked his ego real good, and he had her mind just right. So yes, ma'am. See, a lot of people they don't realize how much substance is in the word. So,
And
and
I'll
because they don't know it's in there, they don't govern themselves accordingly.
accordingly.
So it's yeah, so but thank you and thank you, thank you, thank you. But we're gonna jump off of here right now and we will see you all next week because next week's topic, if we don't delve a little deeper, is there
Video
a
version.
video
Look,
version
you sound like
somewhere?
me, Kiana. Is there some cliff notes? I'm gonna need something.
uh, oh, we're gonna actually delve into it pretty good. So,
I'm
but
looking forward to watching those episodes. Okay, so I probably won't be on those episodes because I don't know nothing about it. But I'm gonna be sitting over on the couch, like, for real. Be like, wait a minute, what page is that on? I'm gonna need you to tell me. I need to go and find this and read it, or let me look it up
good night.
on the computer.
Yeah, but we're getting ready to jump off, and we love each and every one of you, and we thank you for your love and your support. And we will talk to you next week on this thing called
Life.
life. Be blessed, everyone.
Night,
Take
y'all.
care.